Hello, Lori Michelle Moshiach here today to talk about marriage, an age-old problem with a perfect solution. The perfect solution to miserable marriages is the same solution that we need to use to heal the whole world. We need to heal ourselves. Marriage is the model for creation. I talk about it quite a bit in my book, Blindsided by Messiah. Marriage is a commandment, a mitzvah. We're supposed to pair up and have a family. And lots of marriages end in divorce. Half of all marriages, at least, end in divorce. And the other half is arguably miserable. There's a small percentage of marriages that are happy and they last the years. But the other significant majority of marriages either end or remain miserable till one of the spouses drops dead. Nice, right? Makes you really want to get married. But I do believe in the institution of marriage. But I ended my marriage after 26 years because of a lot of the problems that people face in marriages. One person doesn't want to give as much as the other person. There's an imbalance. And when I say give, I don't mean necessarily things. I mean consideration, appreciation, being outward. There's usually an imbalance that causes conflict. And I always say it's never the cap on the toothpaste that ends a marriage. It's always something else. It always feels like that was the last straw. He never puts the cap on the toothpaste. I'm done. But it's so many other things that build up over years. And so I have the perfect solution to improve marriage and help people beat the odds. And that is, be like Hashem, be outward, be giving. And don't treat marriage like a contract, a business arrangement like most people do. They treat marriage like they do business arrangements or even friendship. They consider marriage quid pro quo, meaning you meet me halfway and I'll meet you halfway. And marriage isn't 50-50. Marriage needs to be 100%, 100%, meaning each spouse needs to lead with, it's all about you, honey, but the other partner has to do the same. And therein lies the imbalance and the problems. Some people feel like they give 100% or more than 100%. But the minute you start saying, what about my needs? You don't consider me. And you speak in those terms, you're being self-centered and not outward. When you argue, you need to learn how to voice your concerns without making it a personal attack on your spouse. Let me give you an example. Your spouse comes home and you don't have dinner made for your spouse. You were supposed to have dinner made, and your spouse says something very cutting, like, you're just like your mother. All of a sudden, your mother's in the room. Before, it was just you and your husband. Now it's you, your husband, and your mother's in the room. And so it inflames you, and you fight back. Well, you're just like your deadbeat father. And it goes downhill from there. When you make it a personal attack, you get nowhere. What you need to learn how to do is make your criticisms valid and about the action, about the thing, not about a personal attack on someone's character or a name-calling contest. So This is a very short video, but the premise of this video is what we all must do is learn how to be completely outward and treat our spouse 100% the way we would want them to treat us. It's all about them. We want our relationships to be all about us, don't we? You don't want to admit that, but the minute you start saying, what about my needs? I don't feel loved. I'm not appreciated. It's all self-centered. What we have to learn how to do is to be more like Hashem. Arguably, he has everything. It's not even arguable. He has everything covered. He needs nothing from anyone. So he's 100% outward. Everything he does is about us or about others. He never considers himself first. And that's how we have to be. We have to be completely outward and thinking about our spouse and what's good for them and what would they like for dinner, and be happy and joyful to give them everything. And if they do that in return, the marriage becomes joyous, a celebration instead of heartache. You have to be on the same page about it, of course, and that's the trick. But the thing that you have to understand is that when you're working on relationships, the only one you have control over is yourself. So work on yourself, work on being 100% outward and giving, and see what happens. It could become contagious. And learn that when your spouse doesn't do something that you want them to do for you, don't make it about yourself. Again, make it about them. They're unhappy with me. Let me go deeper and find out the reason why. Perhaps you should ask. Maybe they have an issue that you can fix about yourself, because that's your power. Your power is when you go inward to yourself and you control your own mouth, your own thoughts, and your own emotions, and you give from the inside out all the time. You don't have to become a doormat. If someone sees that you're very giving and keeps taking, then you might be giving your love in the wrong direction, perhaps. But marriage is worth fighting for, because if one marriage ends, the chances are the next one will end also. The problems in your life need to become an inside job. You need to work on yourself to correct your world. You can't always be looking over there and over there. If I was over there, I'd be happier. If I had that kind of a husband, I'd be happier. The only control you really have is yourself. So you bring yourself into the relationship and give 100% of yourself to your spouse and work on it with them. Get them on the same page. Get them to say, you know, this is worth fighting for. Let's work on this together. So the perfect solution in marriage is the same solution for the world, for world peace. We have to work on ourselves, become 100% outward and loving and appreciative, and we will heal the world one person at a time. And if you get your spouse involved, that's 2 people, and then there's 3 people, your child, and so on and so on. And we heal the world and bring world peace in our time. Sounds a little Pollyanna, doesn't it? But it's truly the roadmap to world peace. Be outward, be loving, be like Hashem. God bless you.